What's going on, guys? Agent Jim Shorts coming at you with another video for yins today. Sorry for taking a little bit of time between videos, but anyway, we are back now. A few weeks ago, I came up with the next 10 Marvel movies. I really loved making that one, and it really turned out well. After that, there were several requests for me to make another video covering the MCU TV shows that'll be coming out in 2020 and beyond. With that being said, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look into the future and check out the upcoming Marvel TV projects that'll be coming out on Disney+. So sit back and enjoy some random content to consume during this crazy shut-in. Also, if you're shut in right now and want something to do, maybe consider clicking the like and the subscribe button, and if you have any thoughts, leave a comment. It really means a lot to me and I love to hear from you guys. Anywho, let's get down to business. The lead-off show for Marvel and Disney will be none other than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This show will give us a look at Sam and Bucky after the events of Endgame and Captain America's retirement. We know that both characters are confirmed for this show, as well as Baron Zemo, Sharon Carter, and a few others. This show is thought to be akin to Captain America Winter Soldier in tone and feel. It should really be a more gritty, tense, and secret agent feel that really brings out the special ops background of both Falcon and Bucky. The bigger news is that this show, as well as other Disney Plus shows, will tie directly into the movies. This means that the TV shows and the upcoming Marvel movies will all be one big story. So plan on keeping your Disney Plus subscription if you've avidly followed the MCU. Falcon and the Winter Soldier will reportedly have a large influence on the upcoming movies, as well as the upcoming shows, so you really don't want to miss this one. On a side note, there are rumors that the X-Men will be teased in this show. In recent set photos, the Madripoor flag can be seen. The country of Madripoor has been a long-standing part of the X-Men mythos, and this show may be the beginning of the mutants in the MCU. There's no official release date yet, but it's said to be coming out in fall 2020. The second show to be coming to the silver screen is none other than Wanda Vision. This show is going to be the weirdest of the bunch, but it also looks like it could end up being super interesting. As we know from the end of Infinity War, Vision is very much dead. This is due to Thanos ripping off the Infinity Stone from his head. The prevailing theory is that this show will be some form of dream or delirium in which Wanda is imagining or creating an artificial world where her and Vision are both alive and well. In the MCU, Wanda's powers have been really undersold. We just see her do some weird red things and use telekinesis occasionally, but in the comics, she was one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel world. Her powers can alter reality and change the world around her, so a crazy premise like this makes sense. It makes me think that the MCU will be starting to explore these more fantastical and crazy powers which she possesses. The other really important thing we know about this show is that it will directly lead up to and tie into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. My half-baked theory is that Wanda will either accidentally create or discover the multiverse, which will be further explored in Doctor Strange. As a last Easter egg, Kat Dennings is confirmed to be reprising her role as Darcy, who we met in the first two Thor movies. There is said to be other cameos from additional characters who have already appeared in the MCU. This show is scheduled to have 6 episodes and also has no set release date, but it should be anticipated sometime near the end of 2020. Up next on our list is the God of Mischief himself, Loki. Now you might be thinking, wait, didn't Loki die in Infinity War? And yes, you would be correct, but this show is about the Loki who steals the Cosmic Cube when Captain America went back in time during Endgame. The really interesting thing about this is that Loki is not somewhat a good guy anymore. He's straight up a villain. He didn't learn or grow from the movies after Avengers 1. Instead, he's the guy who just attempted to take over the world for Thanos. So, we'll be seeing a more evil Loki, and he'll be time traveling and doing all sorts of crazy sci-fi stuff. An interesting tidbit about this show is that we have a Rick and Morty writer at the helm, so this will hopefully steer the cosmic ship in the right direction. Not a ton is known on the side characters or even the exact plot of this show, but we should be in for a fun ride with Tom Hiddleston back as Loki. He can do way better than T-Swift, y'all. Wow, I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail now. But anyway, this show is expected to be released in early 2021. As we continue down the Marvel brick road, we now stumble upon the animated What If show. This show is based off the comics of the same name. It takes a premise that we know and love and then changes something about it and asks the question, what if this happened? For example, this show is rumored to contain a story on what would have happened if Peggy Carter had taken the super soldier serum instead of Captain America. The really cool thing about this show is that while it is animated, the actual cast will be voicing their own characters that they play in the live action. So we'll have Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, Sebastian Stan as Bucky, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and so on. This is clearly the oddest of all the shows coming out, but it really has the potential to be an incredibly unique and comic-like experience that could really add something to the MCU. I think we could see some crazy stories and character combinations that would really be a blast. Look out for some crazy adventure time summer 2021. Shooting into the next spot on our list is none other than the fan and meme favorite, Hawkeye. This show will be about our guy Hawkeye in a post-Endgame world. He just lost his good friend Black Widow and is now reunited with his family after the blip. This means that he is very damaged and scarred from the 5 years he spent without them and reacclimate himself into life back with his family alive. This show is shaping up to follow Clint as he trains his daughter, Kate Bishop, into a new Hawkeye. There apparently have been rumors that Haley Steinfeld has been offered the role of Kate Bishop, but we don't know for certain if that's true. Regardless, I think this could be a really in-depth and powerful look at a life after the blip, and how a man who was on the edge of savagery during the years spent without his family must now deal with those emotions and try to put the needs of his family first. Hawkeye is slated to drop near the end of 2021. As we come to the final 3 shows on our list, they're all very much still in the development phase, and little to any specifics are known on these projects. But knowing little on a project has never stopped me from talking before, so why should I start now? But anyway, the first of these 3 shows is none other than Miss Marvel. And no, that is not a typo. And this is not referring to Carol Danvers, who is the original Miss Marvel. This is referring to the more recently created Kamala Khan. Camilla is a teenage Inhuman who has crazy powerful shapeshifting abilities. In the comics, once Carol Danvers decided to dub herself as Captain Marvel, rather than Miss Marvel, she eventually gives her old title to Camilla. Again, very little is known about this project other than the fact that Camilla will be the main character, and that it will be set in the MCU. My really big question about this show is whether or not we'll see Captain Marvel in this show. Carol is supposed to be a mentor of sorts to Camilla, so it'll be interesting to see if she does make an appearance as a mentor on the silver screen. There's no set release date for this, but I'd be looking for it sometime in the first half of 2022. Second of these little known shows is none other than Moon Knight. Bro, Moon Knight is legit in the Ultimate Alliance games, man. His nunchucks are legend. Like, dang, this is taking me back to middle school already. But anyway, if you're a comic book fanboy like me, you know people have been clamoring for this show all the way back since the start of the Marvel Netflix shows. So it's pretty exciting to finally be getting one of these several years later. For those of you who are unaware of who Moon Knight is, he's an ex-military man who's been bestowed supernatural powers by an Egyptian moon god named Khonshu. Khonshu, I'm honestly really not sure how to pronounce that name, man. But anyway, he has enhanced strength, agility, endurance, as well as his fighting skills from the Marines. I know, this is a crazy backstory, but later in the comics, it's seen that he's lost his powers after displeasing Khonshu, so I would not be surprised if Marvel chooses to use this version of the character as their version of Moon Knight. The other really interesting part of this character is his mental health. He has multiple personalities and some question whether Khonshu is even real. This could lead into a really interesting mind-bending story, where Moon Knight believes and sees Khonshu, but we as the audience are never fully sure whether he is real or not. It's the end of Inception all over again. Oh my god, the top freaking fell over, everybody. Just deal with it. Give me my freaking happy ending for my guy, Leo DiCaprio, alright? The freaking top fell over. But anyway, all that being said, expect Moon Knight sometime in 2022. The last entry on our list may be the one I'm the most excited about, and that is none other than She-Hulk herself. We don't have any cast or characters in this show, but it's a safe bet to anticipate She-Hulk and the Hulk to be in this show. In the comics, Bruce Banner's cousin Jennifer has had a medical emergency and needs a blood transfusion, or she'll likely die. With no other matching donors around, Bruce is forced to use his tainted gamma-filled blood to save his cousin. When she recovers, she finds that she can switch to and from her Hulk form at will. Unlike her cousin, Jennifer has always had control of her Hulk abilities, but there is a trade-off. While she's in complete control of her powers, she's not quite as strong as her cousin in her raging form. If I could dream up a perfect series, it would be the following. In the comics, Jennifer is a lawyer and is practicing law actively. I'd love to see her in the courtroom against Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. He was so good in the Netflix shows, and I think this could be such a cool place to tie him into the MCU shows. All of my dreaming aside, this has a chance to be a really interesting show with some really interesting characters. We don't know when this show will come out, but it likely won't be until 2023 at least. And that is our list, guys. Thanks for sticking around and seeing the upcoming Marvel TV shows. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have anything you'd like to see in new videos, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll probably make a video on it, honestly. Anyway, guys, please relax, stay safe out there, and as always, stay frosty.